Good afternoon. Welcome to this episode of the Montgomery CEO series. Today we have the founder and CEO of Pentanet with us to talk through his business model. Stephen, welcome to
Gary,
the Montgomery CEO series.
thank you very much for having me.
Now, what we're going to talk about today is a little bit about Pentanet's history, what it is, and I thought we could start off by you giving us an introduction into Pentanet.
As you said, I'm Stephen. So Pentanet started a few years ago. I'm a pretty keen gamer. I like playing online games. Everyone knows the state of the internet isn't very good today, and especially not back many years ago. So I was living in a house and wanting to play online games, and was just trying to find a better solution than what was available. Initially I was just trying to find a solution available from anyone, and nothing was really apparent. So I started looking into fixed wireless technology as a last mile connectivity method, to connect to homes. And so, I looked into the technology, basically got really passionate about it, and just ended up building a tower near my house, and kind of created my first fixed wireless tower. And then I connected the home to it, and the technology all worked. And subsequently, the years following, we built more and more towers, built up more customer base. But really, in essence, Pentanet is a telco, so we're a telecommunications carrier. We own our own network. Our network doesn't have to flow over other networks to get to consumers. Like, we don't have to use MBN or anything like that to get to our users, which means we can enjoy much larger margin, but also have a much better quality of service going to our users. So now in Perth, we have what I'd say is the largest fixed wireless network here in Perth. The network is powered by a lot of dark fiber and fiber optics around the place. And we're in the process now of converting our network to a new technology that will enable faster speeds and access to more users across Perth. And then the other side of the business is that we're also an alliance partner with NVIDIA for GeForce Now Cloud Gaming. So cloud gaming is another side of the business that we operate, and that's a national product.
So, Stephen, clearly you're probably one of the busiest small cap CEOs out there, building a telecom network and launching a cloud gaming service. But let's break it down a bit. Let's start by looking at the telecom business. Give us a sense of the size of that. And also, there's a lot of innovation going into your network that investors probably don't know about. So introduce us to that and what's different about your business out there today.
Yeah. Well, I suppose our telecom network at the moment, so what we consider to be on-net, which are users that we can support on our own network, currently the limitation of that network was probably sitting at around the 9,000 to 10,000 customers that we could actually put on net. And the on-net towers do have a service area of about 400,000 homes. So of the 400,000 homes that we can see and connect to a tower, we only have capacity for about 10,000 of those. So to increase the capacity that we're able to service, we're doing it with two ways. So we've got 5G. So we bought 5G spectrum in the ACMA spectrum auction. So the 5G equipment on our tower will eventually be able to increase our capacity for wireless users on our network to around the 70,000 user mark off our existing infrastructure. But the 5G connectivity that we provide still works on the same line of sight basis. So a customer has to see the tower to connect. But with the other technology, TERRAGRAPH is capable of much faster speed than our 5G spectrum, and it can bounce around and get to all the customers that we can't currently connect to back to our sites. So really, it's a matter of increasing our capability in terms of the amount of customers we can bring on net from today, where we can have a limit of 10,000, up into the hundreds of thousands.
Wow, fantastic. Well, that sounds amazing. And you introduced the TERRAGRAPH technology. That's that interesting innovation that's going on. Talk to us a little bit more about the TERRAGRAPH network.
Yeah. So TERRAGRAPH was developed, it's a new protocol developed by Facebook, and it operates in the 60 gigahertz band. So it's millimeter wave, and it's a very, very high millimeter wave. But the shortcoming of 60 gigahertz is that it's very short range. So for a network to utilize 60 gigahertz, it needs lots and lots and lots of little small cells everywhere, which is a bit of an engineering challenge. But TERRAGRAPH was a new protocol developed by Facebook that would allow many of these small cells on a network all talking to each other and basically finding the most appropriate and quickest path back to the data center. So it's like a smart network that utilizes, in our use case, it utilizes our subscribers to form part of this mesh network and handles all that routing to make it very efficient.
Very interesting. Well, talk to us about the fixed wireless technology today and the evolution toward that radio mesh. Show us or tell us what you think.
Yeah, sure. So I'll show you here. I've got a video. So really, at the moment, how the network works is we have these towers, which this represents. So our customers have a dish on the roof of the house, which we go out and install. So if the customer has line of sight to the tower, they can connect. But as this video is demonstrating, if you don't have line of sight to the tower, you won't actually be able to connect to the network. And so this is what I'm talking about when I say, the limitation. So basically about 400,000 homes in Perth can see one of our towers like this, but there's still a bit of a bottleneck in how many customers each tower can support. So really, we have a very expansive network, but there's all these different locations around Perth that we can't service. So where TERRAGRAPH comes in, this is why we IPO'd, was to raise the capital to go and convert the network to this new technology. But as you can see, we can swap out these, the distribution nodes on the homes, and those customers all start talking to neighboring subscribers. So you can see these homes in the back where they couldn't connect before directly to the tower, they're able to connect down across of the different network or the mesh technology. And basically how the mesh works is that all of these subscribers can see and hear everyone else around them. And like you saw with that crane coming in the way, if anything that happens to the connection to make it drop or something goes in the way of the line of sight, the network reroutes or just finds a nice clean path back home.
Fantastic. That sounds a strong innovation. And when do we expect to see TERRAGRAPH rolled out as a solution to your subscribers? What's the timeline for that?
Yes. So we are currently rolling out TERRAGRAPH, what we call the Nexus, at present. So every day we're putting out more of these, distribution points, and more of our customers are getting converted. But it's a very internal process at the moment. It's very selective. We're building out on selective towers, and we're also in the process of upgrading all of our existing towers to be able to handle TERRAGRAPH and to also convert them to handle the 5G equipment for the spectrum that we bought. So over the next few months, we're going to increase and amp up the rate at which we deploy this mesh, and it's that mesh which will be effectively commercialized, probably at the beginning of next calendar year, when we can, have enough coverage to basically, advertise it and make sure there's coverage for people to actually connect to.
Fantastic. So it dramatically increases the addressable market for your business in Perth.
Absolutely, and it dramatically increases our offering. So TERRAGRAPH is capable of multi-gigabit per second. So we'll be able to do, supply and provide gigabit internet to the users on the Nexus, and people who just want to connect directly to our 5G will be able to experience several hundred megabit per second, which is...
Just contextualize that for us. How does that compare to, say, I guess the prevailing other technology out there is probably NBN. How does that compare to that?
Yeah, so NBN would offer, your typical NBN plan is 50 megabit per second or 100 megabit per second. Some people are able to access faster speeds on NBN, like 250 megabit and up to gigabit speeds as well, if you have fiber. But still, if you're providing gigabit service over NBN, most of that margin still goes towards the cost of building that fiber, which means it goes towards NBN. Our wireless solution is a much lower cost, equally as effective and more rapidly deployable solution for fast, low latency internet.
Thank you very much for your time today and taking us through your business model. Thanks, Stephen.
No, thanks, Gary. It's a pleasure.